Hey guys, we're sitting around doing a little co-working. Oh, let me fix my, looks like I got one thing busted here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it looks better. Okay, you guys can at least see me talking. Alright, well we're not working too hard today. We're just kind of hanging out, and I'm doing some co-working while I work in another environment here and do some system stuff. I have to figure out a few things, so I'll be doing that as well. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about anything that's going on here. I might have even these things I might put into here, because I'm going to be using them a little bit. There we go. Put those into there. Alright. So yeah, we got a little bit of stuff going on. Hey, how's it going, Bedless Blade? Struggling to install a Wi-Fi card firmware for the whole day. Nice. What type of Linux are you doing, and what's going on? My best advice for that is, of course, LSPCI to make sure your device is seen, and then LSMod to make sure whatever things that you think are getting loaded as the system reboots or comes up are there. You know, if I had Wi-Fi in here, I'd be looking for the modules. That's the main things that I do. I also look for errors around. Once I know the type of the card, I look for errors if there's anything that doesn't come up. Those are kind of my little steps. But yeah, hopefully that's, I mean, that's a good kind of thing, because then when you get it fixed, you get to take some notes and remember how to do it, so you don't make that mistake in the future, or have that problem again in the future, right, on your next build. So that's always important. What I'm doing though is I'm actually working on something that's going to kind of come up here. We got a list. I'm gonna be doing some stuff in the home lab here to test the behaviors of some things. I want to make sure that the offline command works the way that I want it to for the system here. So I want to wwctl container list, and then in my home lab, Linux 9 lab 03 November 24. This is a lab I've been using. Whoops, I don't want a container list, I want a container exec now, and then I want to go with bin bash. Get into there, right? So now I'm in that container, and what I want to do is I want to see if I can do firewall offline, and I want to see if with this I can check in my different zones. So if I wanted to see you know, some of the stuff, like I wanted to see what the default systems and those kind of things are. Like if I wanted to get the default zone, I want to see if this works. So public's the default zone. That's good. I need to check that in one of my other nodes. So I gotta look on this other system here. Okay. LC01. Okay, so my default zone is public. Get active zone, so I see public on those different interfaces. And then I want to, for a specific zone, I can do okay, there, good. How's it going, Shaft? Hold on, Bedless Blade. I installed Rocky on my laptop as a joke and found the firmware for the Intel Centrino Ultimate N6300 is not included in Linux firmware. Interesting. Yeah, Bayless. So then you got to go probably find one that's similar and compile it for your version. So Yeah, you're probably going to get to do some make install. That's always fun. Then you got to make sure that it's tied to that driver's got to be pointed to that hardware. And yeah, it's always fun. It's always a fun little process to figure out what's happening behind the scenes for us nowadays automatically. So yeah, if you run into anything that's too complex in there, bayless or bedless, sorry. I don't know, I think I've been thinking Beyblades or something, but bedless. If anything like that comes up, and you drop in the Discord, there's typically somebody down there that will find the time to help you a little bit. So I'm gonna do a couple other commands here: firewall, CMD. Oh, I want offline. Get active zones. Get active zones. Okay, well, there can't be any active zones, so that's fair. But I should be able to get, I should be able to say zone equals public list all. And that should show me about that. Okay, good. So this is mainly what I need. If you guys see that on the left there, that's what I need for my home lab. Or for this project I'm doing. So what's happening is in a stateless set of nodes, I have a firewall, and I need to add in a couple of rules for monitoring to work. Which, by the way, this is actually really funny. This is something that we just did a couple of weeks ago, and I just kind of came up with some stuff. And then the exact same thing that I'm having to figure out and do is exactly what the guys did in the class. So when we were doing our Linux Systems Administration course, I asked this question the other day. Hold on, let me pull this up for you guys. I'll show you. Let's disable streamer mode so we can see it, and then go to our Discord and make it visible. Okay. So what I had asked the other day was this question. Somewhere in here. That was definitely in here. Hold on. People that are wondering, you're always allowed to come in here and work in here as much as you want. Doesn't cost anything. Just go hang out and work on stuff. Yeah, so this question right here for Unit 6, Post 1. Tickets come from application team, and you've got a problem because you built in firewalls, but you didn't allow these to come through, right? So now the company standards of firewall D must be running, but no one has documented the port. So in this example, you had to go figure out what the problem was and find out what the default ports are. Well, we know Node Exporter runs on port 9100. So now we have to let it in through the firewall. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can see again. What I got to do then to allow it is I got to come over here, and I got to use a firewall CMD command, because you see there's no ports in here that are just allowing. Apparently I got a status meeting in 10 minutes, so I might have to go on mute here in a minute, guys. Shaft said, how important do I think being able to set up a PC is in a help desk role? None, 0. I'm surprised anybody asked you for that, Shaft. I think you're the one who was asking down in Discord about it. I don't think being able to set up a PC, especially remotely, is all that important. You should have typically people that can go out and work on that stuff and do that stuff. As far as most companies go, you know, you're not going to be doing that stuff. Okay, hold on. So I got to add. So we're going to add in a default port. So we're going to add a port here, and we're going to do it in this offline mode here, right, for our system. And I'm going to say offline here in our zone public. I want to add a port, and that port is going to be equal to 9100 TCP permanent. Right? And if that works, well, probably if I spelled permanent wrong. No? I definitely missed something. Hold on. Firewall. Zone equals public. Add port. Oh, you know what? The permanent's not needed in this one. Okay, so that makes sense. So now I want to go back and look at the listed ports and see how I now see 9100 there. Okay, so that's good. That's going to be what's needed here for this. Um, yeah, Shaft. Hopefully that was. I don't know if that was you that was experiencing that, Shaft, where they were making you like set up a PC and do all the communication stuff as a help desk person. Maybe they just want a more rounded help desk person than they've gotten in the past. I'm not 100% sure why they would ask that or anybody would want to know that. Yeah. Got asked to make a tower PC bootable, connect to a laptop. Yeah, that's way more. Like so when I first got out of the army and I worked for the Peoria school district out here in Glendale, Arizona. I did all that stuff, but I was not a help desk person. I was a LAN tech, so I was what they called a local area network technician. And really, I just went out and moved computers around for teachers and helped teachers out and stuff. But that's a bit over the top. Yeah, yeah. And then Shaft, I was talking wireless for the questions Bedless was asking. So, yeah, yeah. But that seems like a lot. A PC to a laptop using cable and doing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That seems like a lot to me. Um, and directly connecting it without like a switch involved or something, that seems super weird to me too. I don't even know if I've ever done that in all my life, connected two computers together without some piece of equipment between them. I mean, maybe on like an ad hoc wireless network, but I don't think I've ever done any of that other stuff. So that's kind of interesting. Papa Eggplant over on the Twitch side. I know it probably looks like I'm just talking to myself, but people are asking questions over on the YouTube side. So I'm just kind of answering both of them. Also, we're not working too hard right now. What I need to do, though, is I need to set this value like I just did on a set of servers. And then I need to make sure that that's going to work the way that I expect it to. So I'm going to, on one of these nodes, I am just going to do my firewall, CMD, and add port equals 90/100 TCP permanent. Permanent. Huh. Maybe permanent's not a real value anymore. I don't know. And then we'll go look and see that it's there. Yep. And then there's like a reload for this. Where's the reload for this? -- reload. Huh, okay. So I think this is exactly what I want for my system. So what I'm going to do then is, I'm not actually running the firewall in the home lab here, I don't think, but we can check. I'm going to do a history real quick, and I'm going to grab all these commands because I want to keep them all. And just for myself, make sure even the ones that didn't work right, even the permanent one that didn't work right, I'll rip that out because it didn't really matter. And then I'll go and what I need to do in this environment then is I'm going to exit, and it's going to rebuild that image. And I'm going to go in there again, and I'm going to make sure that that value has been set properly in the image. So that's something that I'm going to do. So, yeah. But guys, we're not working too hard today. We're just kind of hanging out, talking shop if anybody's got it. I'm working in front of you guys a little bit, doing some stuff in my home lab. And then I'm taking some of that stuff and using it as part of my documentation for a different project that I'm working on. So that's kind of the order of operations, I guess, if you want to call it that, for what's going on right now here. So we're also monitoring a little bit of the stuff in our home lab here. You guys know, some of you that are part of the Discord, you can get in there and you can hang out and talk shop, and you can also get into the home lab if you need to. If anybody needs that, here's the Discord link on the Twitch side, and I'll give you that over on the YouTube side as well. So there you go. You know, some of you guys are already in there and hanging out and talking shop, checking out my dog Ranger down there. That was that camera that just passed a second ago. And other than that, we're just kind of hanging out, not working too hard. Make sure our system's shuffling. Good. Okay. Let's go back into an exec of this system now that it's built, and then we're going to rerun the list. And what should happen is when we list this, it should have port 9100 set. Yep. See, so that was properly set, so that's good. I know now that that'll work on the images that I need to build that against in my other environment. So I'm going to go to that other environment, and I'm going to go verify on the systems that I need to. So I've got some systems that I need to check real quick and make sure that that they have that set the way that they should. So give me a second here. Again, ask me questions if you guys need. I'm just kind of dual working in a couple of environments. So I'm going to check the node list. We can let this thing build again. All right. Just leave that running for you guys to see how the cluster's doing. And I'm working in a different different screen here. Node list. Okay. JSO2. JSO2. CXLZ. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking through some stuff on my side over here. It's LZ08. Okay. And then I think I have one more type that I need, so I gotta fix this one. This one. And then this one. I have one more to fix, one more type. Let's see. Okay. Fix that one. And then. Okay, wait for it. Good, got it. All right, I know which ones I need to fix. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just gotta fix the different nodes. Then yeah, if you guys are hanging out with me and want to ask any questions, feel free to, let me know. I'm not working too hard, but I am kind of co-working here, so the stream is just kind of us hanging out and talking shop. Talking about Linux and fixing stuff. So let me go into each of these containers here and add this. Looks like everything's going pretty good over there, so that's good. If any of you guys want to know about the group or getting involved with our Linux Systems Administration course, that stuff's all free and that's all down in the Discord. So you guys are welcome to do that if that's interesting to you. Get this going. Okay. And then bash. Too easy. One more node to fix. One more set of nodes to fix. And then I'm done. Also, I got to write up a little documentation on it because it's always nice to capture what you did. I'm putting stuff in our Jira board, but after you're done putting stuff in the Jira board, it's still a good idea to go back and put it in wherever your actual documentation is, because you'll find that Jira boards are good, but they're not as searchable typically as whatever your standard place for documentation is. So, yep. All right, got that all done. All right. My documentation in, moved it over to done. Too easy. Too easy, everybody. That's how you get a Jira tab. I don't know if any of you guys ever looked. Some of you have at like what a Kanban board is. So what does a Kanban board in Jira look like? Kind of looks like, not Ranger laying there. Kind of looks like this. So this is a general idea. Let's see if we can open the image in a new tab. If it'll, oh, that won't look very good. Yeah, it tends to look like this. Oh, they're not gonna. They're just gonna let me download it, huh? Well, it's less useful. How's it going, King Subaki? We're just kind of working on stuff now, and looking at Kanban boards. This is kind of what I'm looking at on my own screen here. Other screen where I have some stuff to do and some stuff in progress, and I just finished something that was in progress and moved it over here by the process of kind of using this tool to allow me to do offline work. So some of you guys have seen you can actually run your own little Kanban board. So I actually have that. I had that running for a while in our environment, and then we had the Kanban board, and you guys could tell me to do different work items, but we haven't really messed with it much lately, and I kind of let it go to a mess, so we don't really do much with it. But oh shoot, actually I got a meeting here real quick, guys. I got to go on mute for a little bit, so I'm gonna go hang out in the meeting. I'll be back. the speaker and the microphone back so you guys can all hear me again, and you guys should be able to hear the music playing. Okay, yeah. So the question was, how am I doing my monitoring here? So to answer that, oh, who is this? Hold on, somebody's calling me on the phone. Hello? Give me a second here, guys. Oh, it wasn't a person, it was some kind of robot. Okay. Yeah, so hold on. Let me stop this here. The answer to the question of what type of monitoring I'm using is, this is kind of like a modern monitoring stack that we use around here. I originally built this to show some things to our professional Linux users group. So I'm going to show you guys the different pieces of it and how it works by showing you this. Let me pull up. I got to go find if I have it on here. And if I don't have it on here, then I'm going to have to go grab it. Here's my VS Code. So let me turn on my VS Code and bring it up. There we go. Okay. And I'll transition it over here so you guys can see it. And then over here in the monitoring, this is what the monitoring of my home lab looks like right here. And this is a kind of a modern monitoring architecture. A lot of companies, a lot of different organizations are doing this type of, let me move that back just a little bit. Hold on. Then it'll at least be behind my character. All right. And all it is, Slex One, is everything stops at Grafana. So everything that you were seeing there is from Grafana. Even the stuff that was coming through as, I'll move this down just a little bit so you guys can see it. Even the stuff that you saw down at the bottom with my dog Ranger, even that stuff is that's a Grafana page, right? And what happens is then in that page I'm passing through a iframe so that you can see him sitting there in his bed, even though he's just kind of watching, or he's just kind of laying down there and we're watching him with a webcam. There's also an iframe passing through Nagios. So I do have Nagios monitoring in the home lab, but that's not really what you're seeing here. When you look at this is all Grafana with Prometheus backend. This is all Grafana with Promtail to Loki as a backend, and then this is mostly Grafana. This is a Grafana page with most of the backend of this is InfluxDB. So if we go look at the actual page over here, what happens is Grafana is the end piece here, but then the middle architecture, which is like my storage tier, this is either InfluxDB or Loki or Prometheus in my home lab. And then these are getting information from any server. This is Joe any server right here. It could be any server in my environment. And it's got Telegraph agents that are pushing data. It's got Promtail agents that are pushing logs. And then it's got Node Exporter, which is exposing things and allowing Prometheus to come scrape it through the Prometheus configs that I have to what are called Prometheus scrape configs to pull data out of the Node Exporter at port 9100. In fact, what you guys were just seeing a little while ago in the background when I was working on that firewall stuff and exposing port 9100, I was doing that so that Prometheus could scrape Node Exporter on some of my nodes that point out to the world. That's what I was doing. I was allowing Node Exporter through a firewall with Firewall Offline CMD, which is something you can use to control firewalls even when the firewall's not on through systemd, right? So this is the lab. Or this is the home lab type monitoring. We've got an ingest tier of whatever things you want. We've got a storage tier of whatever time series database type applications you want. Most of us use at least Prometheus and maybe Loki. And then Grafana is pulling things out of there in the home lab. So hopefully that makes that clear as mud for you. That's kind of what my home lab looks like and how it works. I'm going to walk away for a second. I'm going to take a quick break. But yeah, hopefully Slex One, that works. Yeah, the goal would be to get your hands on Grafana and then have something feed it. And one other thing that I would then recommend is, I'll pull this up for you here, is I have some killer Coda labs on it. I'll go pull them up for you real quick. Yeah, I'm going to send you, so hold on, I'm going to show you. Killer Coda is free, right? Doesn't cost anything. But I have some Linux labs in here, and they start down here at, so these are my Linux labs, and they start with like Loki, and then Prometheus and Node Exporter, and then Telegraph and InfluxDB. So if you want to do some of those labs, here's a link to them. So I'll link you guys the first one, and then what you would do is you would just go in there, and again, Killer Code is free. I don't get anything for it. I don't have any way to charge you for it, but then you can just go through the lab and start to learn how to build out the different pieces of basically that diagram that I just showed you there. So something to think about, something to play with. You don't have to go it alone. Show off. I'm going to say we showed off monitoring and look at how modern monitoring happens, right? There's typically like ingest, there's a storage tier, and then there's a presentation. And those can be multiple things. I happen to have chosen Grafana as my end piece. My storage tends to be Prometheus and Loki. And then ingest is any number of things, but I use Node Exporter. There are a lot of other type of things out there than Node Exporter. And there's metric beats and stuff like that that can feed over. Prometheus as a subset, Prometheus or Influx DB are what we call TSDBs, or time series databases. So those are all things to go look up if you're like, oh, I want to know more about that. Ingest can be Promtail sends logs to Loki, right? So there's different ingest and storage tiers and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm glad this stuff's useful to you guys. I mean, you know, you guys know I am also, I just got off of a call right now. I was actually in a meeting while you guys were hanging out with me. And yeah, the goal of all of this is to make you guys better as pros. Some of you want to do this stuff as an amateur, and gosh, man, there's nothing wrong with that. This is fun stuff. I do this for fun. But some of you also want to do it and make money, and there is a fair amount of real work out there to be a systems admin and a systems engineer. And the goal of the Professional Linux Users Group is to make you guys do this stuff professionally. You don't have to do that. Like, it's like that old saying, you don't have to lie to kick it. You can hang out. You don't have to be a pro. You can just be somebody who messes around. I'd say most people in our group really are just messing around, but some of you really want to hammer it out and make this a pro thing. And I think you guys can do it. Every one of you's got the know-how. Every one of you's got the mind that can figure it out. You just have to spend some time working on it. If the general Linux skills are lacking, we can fix that, right? We have the skills to help you get better at that, and that's kind of the goal. So, all right, I'm going to take a walk real quick, grab me some more water and all that good stuff. Oh, my shoulders really hurt from wrestling yesterday, but yeah, you guys keep an eye on Ranger Dog for me, and let me know if anybody's got any questions or anything. I'll be back here in about 3 to 5 minutes. Gonna grab me some water. Alright, I'm back. I'm getting a bunch of emails, too. And thanks for that, Slex One. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. We just, you know, we're not working too hard on, anytime I'm on during the day and it says Coworking, you guys are basically watching my screen do a bunch of stuff. But you do sometimes see me kind of testing stuff in the home lab. This is one of the reasons I often talk about, like, why home labs are so important, is because while you guys were sitting there watching me doing some abstract thing with the firewall, as you guys saw me do, and then you saw me boot up my Rocky 10 node and make sure that the firewall setting was taken. I was using my home lab as a POC, a proof of concept, that the engineering change I wanted to make in a big cluster was going to work. Now I've done that here. I've now tested that change in the big cluster, and now that's become part of the real cluster. And because I showed you guys it in my home lab, I could give you an abstract understanding what I was doing without showing you anything sensitive, which is very important. You know, you gotta think about who your customers are and what their sensitivity levels are to these kind of things. But you guys knowing that I turned on a firewall in my home lab doesn't change the security posture of any of the customers that I may or may not have, right? So that's one of those things where it's like there's enough degrees of separation that it's not that big of a deal to show you guys that. But yeah, so we're just kind of hanging out. If you guys have questions or anything you want to bring up, I'll throw it up here in my little agenda here as I see questions and stuff. I'll just keep them up here, and then if anybody wants to ask or talk about whatever we did, I'll just kind of let them know that these are the things that we worked on up here in the top right. And sometimes I take these notes and I drop them in our Discord later. So if you want to go look at them and think about if it's worth watching the stream later, you can. Also, for people on Twitch, you might have seen that I stopped, like the VODs don't work anymore on Twitch. It's just because they're not persistent over there. So I just leave them over on YouTube. So if you want to watch anything, just watch it on YouTube. I think it's some ads you got to watch or whatever, but it's not too bad in the big scheme of things. Yeah. So anyways, aside from that, what am I working on? I've cleaned up. That was the major stuff I had to get done, really. So other than that, I'm just kind of hanging out. I'll tell you guys about our Discord over here on the Twitch side, and I'll post that on the YouTube side as well. That's just a free Discord. We got almost 3,200 people in there now hanging out, and it's just, you know, people that want to get better at doing Linux and people that want to work through our different labs. I have a big Linux systems administration thing running right now. It's a 16-week course, and we're on week 8. We're almost done with week 8. It takes about 8 hours a week worth of work, probably 6 to 8 hours a week of work. So there's like a lot of work involved for people. Veer Singh, just want to know what's your take on the future of cloud. Well, I think cloud's going to be with us for a while. I think that if you watch the industry, you will see that things expand and contract. What do I mean by that? Well, back in the day, everybody used to just talk about how everything was going to be, you know, big, strong mainframes. Everybody connected in with little weak machines. And then over time, we beefed up our machines and made our machines more of the local processing. And we'd have developers, and they'd be running a lot of local jobs. And then they'd kick them up to the bigger, you know, thing. And so we kind of decentralized off of a strong core, what we called a, what the heck's the name of that? Not supercomputer, but mainframe type system, right? And then, but we've watched this ebb and flow, and in the last little bit, we've seen everybody go up to the cloud. But then, I don't know, probably the last 5 years or so, we've been seeing a lot of people complain about cloud costs and come back out of the cloud. So it's an interesting thing. Like, cloud is always going to be there because there's a certain convenience to making things operational costs instead of capital costs. So there's that. But then some people, they see the operational cost and they're like, I guess I'd rather pay for this as a capital cost. And then they, you know, so I guess there's different ways to view that. And I don't think cloud engineering is going anywhere. I think you guys should all understand NIST, 800-145. I think you should all understand that and know the components of the cloud. Right? This is the components of cloud. And I think that you should know that. And I think you should know, like, what these different pieces are. And I think you should know about them, even if you don't want to become an expert in them. I think you should know about them, and then you should go. Sinbleed, firewall is alive because of kernel net filter and contract. Yeah. So I was using firewall D, but yeah, firewall D is based on NF tables, right? So I think that's net filter tables, but yeah. So yeah, that's my my kind of generic thoughts on it. Let's see what else we got going on over here. We got lab stuff's good. Let me go make sure. I gotta check my my other notes here and see what other things I have to do. All right, yeah, I think I got all that stuff done, so that's good. Sinbleed said, even if you virtualize with libvirt, it's still NF filter. Yep. Forward overbridge called BR net filter inside the kernel, and it happens most in the cloud. Yep. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It's all, yeah. So, I mean, big part of the cloud and why people want to go to the cloud. Sorry guys, I'm yawning over here. A big part of the reason why people want to go to the cloud is because they can operationalize costs. Meaning, if I spent $10,000 this month on my services, then I really spent $10,000. Whereas if you spent $3 million up front to buy a bunch of stuff, that's a capital expenditure. And then now over the course of the next 3 years or 5 years, depending on the life cycle you have for your company and for your machines that you've bought, you're depreciating that and looking at how much value you actually got out of it each month. So it's like two different forms of accounting. And it's actually very similar because so it's kind of funny, even if you bought it capital costs up front, unless your company deals in a lot of cash, you probably financed it. And when you financed it, you probably turned it into an operational cost anyways. So it's kind of like, because then you pay $10,000 a month for it or whatever anyways. So because you're paying the finance charges. So it's one of those things where it's like tomatoes. How do you want to... Tomatoes. That's how it shows up there. That's what it is. Yeah, so it's kind of a funny thing to me. Yeah. No. I'm yawning because I probably sat here too much doing real work. That's probably why, Veer. I'm not yawning because of you guys. I'm yawning because I'm watching Ranger down there sleeping, man. That dog. Oh, and it's only it's 64 in Phoenix right now, which is really nice in Fahrenheit. The macros in the XNU kernel, they have net filter, but they use it in a different way from user space. Yes, and Bleed, I haven't dug much into that. I probably should one of these days. I have stayed out of deep kernel stuff for probably the last 10 years. Last time I did anything deep in the kernel was probably 2013. So yeah, I've been just kind of running stuff and making sure that servers boot and stuff. I mean, I guess I've dug in a little bit on some InfiniBand stuff, but for the most part, I haven't really dug in on kernel or kept track of kernel stuff lately. Apple clones all the Linux kernel and work in a different way. Yeah, they run the aren't they base? I don't even know. I thought Apple was base BSD, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Or I thought they had forked off of BSD, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't track much with Apple. Here's the deployment models and stuff. So this is that same doc I was talking about with NIST. By the way, guys, NIST is a great place. If you just want to learn a lot of the industry terms, NIST is a good tool, I think. If you're just you don't want to go buy a book or something, but you're like, I need to know some of this terminology better. Did you guys know that NIST just keeps a list of all the... You could just go to NIST, cybersecurity, and then you could go to a glossary. They actually have a glossary right here of all the terms and definitions that they use. It's surprisingly actually not terrible. And I mean, but if you just want to if you're struggling to find stuff that how people talk about stuff, apparently this is not gonna go right there. But yeah, here's all the acronyms, and it'll take you through. And then we start off with all these. Oh, I want to know what AAA is. What the heck's a AAA? And then I go down authentication, authorizing, and accounting, and then we can go down in, and we should be able to see where it's at. Also, it should be giving us. There is one that has all the. I'm probably on the wrong one, but there is one that has all of the. What's it called? It's got them all listed, not just the definitions like that. FreeBSD is pretty good. Nice. Yeah, BSD is good. Been around, long time. Probably what's BSD up to? 40 years almost. Anybody got a BSD timeline? I don't want bungo stray dogs. I don't even know what bungo stray dogs is. Ah, we'll go Unix. Look at that. It's older than me. That's a good question, Veer. Give me 1 second real quick. Look at that. 1969. History of Unix and BSD. So guys, this is good. This is a really useful, interesting question. So it's 16-week Linux course. Are they live or pre-recorded? And the answer is 1, they're free in Discord. And then they are live on Saturdays, and then kept in YouTube forever. Right? So they're live on Saturdays if you wanted to come and meet, but I know people are literally all around the world, so you guys can come in and watch them later. So let me show you guys a little bit about how that kind of works. Street Tracks here. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, Sinbleed. I get it. I think that's a good point if you're working in cloud engineering already, and there's a lot of virtualized networking. Yeah, there's a lot of how do we connect these different virtualized interfaces as well, because that becomes an interesting little thing inside of your different machines. Especially, I've built some machines out in the cloud, and I tend to use either Packer to build them, or you know what? I've never actually shown you guys. I've built those before years ago on stream here, but I've never shown you guys how Packer works. Now that I think about it, but Packer's a pretty good tool for building some of that stuff. Anyways, hold on. Let me pull something up here real quick, guys. Let me get Discord up. So we'll pop Discord back up in front of you guys. So here's our Discord, and this is one of the things that was just getting asked about was how what about this group? Like so we've got this professional Linux users group. You can come to the event, and I'm actually like kind of miffed about this. See how it only says 27 people here? We had 208 people on here, and then when I went to Hawaii, I pulled it up on my phone, and it wiped and showed 0. And nobody deleted it. I've looked all through the logs. There's no reason this should have been deleted, but it was. And then nobody came on that Saturday, and I was really kind of sad about it because like it just sat there empty. So now we're back up to 27 people, but again, we were at like 208 at one point. We had a lot of people say they were coming. So if you want to go up to the top left of your Discord and say, hey, yeah, I do want to join the course. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And then I'll show you guys how to get caught up, because there was a little bit of a question about it. You go to Prolog Projects. Well, so hold on. If you go to Beginner Start here, this is where the playlist is. So the first 16 courses are already up here for you guys. But if you come down here to Prolog Projects, you can see the different weeks as they played out, and you can go back and get started. Again, it's like 6 to 8 hours of work. Like there's a significant amount of work to it, and you might not think so until you dig in, and then you realize, oh shoot, he's got a lot of stuff here for me. So, yeah, Packer is great for building stuff. Yeah, and then KubeVirt image build, nice. Dead End, I'm pretty good too. I'm just hanging out. We meet on Saturdays though, and we talk through the topics. So let's say for Unit 8, but this last week for Unit 8, when I was out of town, it was just pre-recorded. I did them both live the Saturday before I left town. So then 7 and 8 were recorded. We should now this week be on 9. So we're going to be, yeah, we should be starting on Saturday. We'll be on Unit 9. So we're halfway through the course. The course consists of a whole bunch of stuff, but mostly it's these worksheets you guys do. There's labs that you guys have to do. In the worksheet, it tells you about different things that you might want to go study and notes that you might want to take about different things. So there's kind of a lot of stuff going on in here. And then There's a bunch of questions for you to answer and talk with other people. So there's just a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. Sorry for being a bit greedy with the questions. I'll step back now and let others. No, you're fine. You're fine, Veer. We're just, we're just here working on stuff, and I'm just, I'm kind of co-working a little bit and working on another stream. But yeah, I want everybody to know that like you can still start the course even though you're way behind, and you might not finish in time, and you might not get one of the little cool certs that we're giving out, but you could at least learn something, right? At the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, nothing I could possibly give you, there's nothing I could give you that would be more valuable than you learning this stuff. Because let's say I gave a $500 reward to the guy who did the best. That's $500, and that sounds good, but he's gonna get less out of it than the person that lands a job and makes $20K more a year, right? I mean, then maybe somebody's been breaking rocks and now they get to go work in a system and actually start to build their skills in this stuff. That to me would be worth way more than being outside breaking rocks or like working on a roof. I told some of you guys I was a roofer when I was younger. When I was a teenager, my uncle owned a roofing company, and I used to, every summer in Phoenix, I'd be out there building roofs, and it made me appreciate it made me appreciate fucking life. Because man, that's a lot of work to build and be up on a hot roof, man. Especially some of the times back in the day we used to use a torch, and you would lay the flat roofing out correctly. You would lay it out and make sure it was straight, and then you would roll it back halfway, and one guy would stand in front of you with a torch, and he would point the torch at your legs, but you had the little roofing stuff in the way, and he would melt the roof as you laid it down, and then that's how they glued if you ever wondered how they glue those flat roofs on, they melt the rubberized tar, and it melts right onto the felt paper, right? The felt paper and the tar together cause the roof to be completely waterproof, right? And then you go back the other way. It's kind of like rolling out a carpet to make sure that it's straight first, make sure it's good in the room, and then you roll it back and do one half and roll it back the other way and do the other. That's how you do the roofing, if you've ever wondered. That's flat roof stuff. When you're up on a normal roof, you just chalk line and make sure that you freaking lay all your shingles straight. That's not super hard to do either, because you just don't want, if you roll your shingles from the start, you're going to roll the whole roof, and it's like going to look like crap from the ground later, so you never want to do that. So all right, anyways, so you guys are welcome in here. There's a little bot that welcomes you guys, so you guys will see yourselves getting welcomed in if you hang out. And then also we got some of us are streamers, so it'll hop in and tell you guys when we stream. You got a complaints department. You can tell us what kind of complaints you got, right? There's all kinds of fun stuff. You guys can even see Ranger. Where's Ranger at? Here's Ranger. This was, so when me and the wife went to Hawaii, Ranger stayed with my brother Tom, and we left him the night we got back was kind of late and it was storming out. So we said, hey Tommy, just keep him another night. So this was the next day, and Ranger was like, hey, where are my humans at? Not humans, humans. All right. Anyways, let me get that out of the way. We'll turn off our Discord for a little bit. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're just kind of hanging out. I'm co-working a little bit here on some other stuff and making sure that my environment's clean, that I'm working in, making sure that the management's happy and everything's built out. Yeah, Ranger's a good dog, man. He's old though, man. He's real old. Just keeps getting older. That's Ranger. Lesarbiska, hey, thanks for that. I appreciate your do all the Linux and your resubscription. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. You guys know you're welcome to always hang out, and the only reason I recommend anybody ever do any kind of that subscription stuff is so you don't have to watch ads, right? Although I avoid all that by just being one of those turbo. I'm one of those turbo guys just because I hate ads in general. So, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you contributing to everything. So it's always fun to have people hang around, and I always like hearing people either upping their skills or finding new things that they're passionate about. Sometimes somebody will be in the Discord talking about security, and somebody else will be like, "Oh, I never even saw that thing," and then next thing you know, they're working on some project or something. It's always fun to hear. So I'm a big fan of that stuff when that happens. So But anyways, yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. If you guys have questions, let me know. The last question was obviously that one about the 16-week course, and that 16-week course is free and always will be free. We're running it out of Discord, so you just gotta figure out how Discord works, and then there. Yeah, Street Track. I need to update the HPC presentation because I've been working with even more tools in HPC than I had before, and I'm always kind of telling you guys, there's a couple of different good, like really good HPC consortiums that are coming out. One is started by the Linux Foundation, and the other is started by Ubuntu. And I think that it's going to be interesting seeing what kind of happens out of those, and where they go, and what kind of tools they want. Because at the end of the day, like, some people really want just turnkey HPC. Turnkey means you buy it and you turn the key and it turns on. Like, could you imagine if you bought like a truck from a dealership and then you had to like put the rest of the truck together before you just turned the key and turned it on? Most people wouldn't want that. So with our vehicles, we expect turnkey. And with our high performance compute, a lot of people think, oh, I'd really like to just turn the key and turn it on and have a working cluster. But a lot of times there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. There's some things that can be pretty close to turnkey solutions. But again, we have to look at, hey, you bought this much CPU and this much GPU, and now how are we going to get those all working together? And how are we going to balance out what type of job scheduler are we going to use? Job scheduler is going to be the queue service of how people are going to wait to get into this cluster. And then how are we going to make that fair? And how are we going to audit it? And how are we going to keep track of how much people use? And there's all this stuff out there. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's just a lot. You don't have to learn all this stuff at once. Street Track. It's very much in my mind about doing what you can, going slowly. You guys watch me do stuff sometimes, and some of it I've been doing for years. 20 plus years in some cases. So, while I claim no great expertise, I might just be one or two steps ahead of you. But hopefully, in any area, I might only be one or two steps ahead of some people. But that's still, hopefully enough to like show you guys that you can blaze that path. In HPC, I've been doing that for almost 20 years. So high performance compute's one of my buddies. It's one of my favorite things. High performance compute. Yep. All right. I'm gonna stop talking for a few, but make sure you guys know there's a free course. There's all our monitoring is there for you guys to kind of watch. Is our monitoring actually flipping? Let me go look. Yeah. Let's go back and make sure it's flipping. Oh, I wasn't flipping it. So, Lesarbisca, I was watching Socratic Method back in the beginning of summer, and it lit spark about Kubernetes and using it in production. Nice, Lesarbisca. Hopefully that makes more valuable things for you in the future too. That's really good to hear. I like that. Thanks for the follow, Aaron. I don't know how to say that. I'm just gonna call you Aaron. Hopefully this stuff's useful. Thanks for the follow. We're not working too hard today, guys. We're just kind of hanging out. I started a new college class night, so they messed up. So this will be fun. Colleges mess stuff up, right? That's true. One of my favorite things about being a college professor, can I tell you guys this? This has been one of my favorite things. 16 years now. Actually, in 1 month, it'll be exactly 16 years that I've been teaching college. One of my favorite things about being a college professor is that I only have to run the classroom. And you might say, well, what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is I don't have to do anything outside that door. I don't have to recruit students. I don't have to do anything but tell them the truth about the discrete steps that go into building a system or about how something works. And like, I don't have to talk to them about politics and financing and any of that stuff. I just have to run a classroom. And I really love that. Like, I just get to basically do what I'm doing with you guys, which is just brain dump shit on you. Just brain dump as much stuff as I can down on you, and hopefully some of it sticks, right? That's valuable to me. But where I was going with this is my college that I'm going to, they messed up, and I'm just like, I hate when things like this mess up. So what happened was I started a class today, right? So I started class today. And you say, what does that mean? Okay, so I started college class today. There's 8 weeks. And then in 3 weeks, I'm going to do a 1 week residency, and I'm taking that time off of work, and I'm just going to be at the facility out here in Glendale at my college, the college that I'm going to, just working on my dissertation, right? Just finding sources and working through some of the stuff. But hold on. When I'm done with that residency, I should just go back to my normal class. My normal class is still running, and then we get into the Christmas break, and then we come back, and then I should start another class, because you really only have one class running at a time in this program, because it's a very intensive, like 8 weeks of writing and stuff like that. Well, whoever looked at my schedule, they looked at it and said, okay, he finishes his residency at the end of the first week of December, so we'll go ahead and start him in a second class. So then they're going to pile on. So then at that point, I'll be in one class, and then I'll be in residency, which is now 2 classes. I'll finish my residency and be finishing off residency and have a 3rd class dropped on me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be working and teaching here too. So I'm going to be very, very busy working and doing college stuff at that time. So that's going to be fun. Lots to do, guys. Lots to do. We never get to stop in the engineering and technology space. We always have to keep being good at what we do, right? So we never get to like move away from that, really. So, but Lezerbisca, hopefully that Socratic stuff was fun. I mean, I really had a fun time going through that with you guys. I don't know if any of you guys know or how many of you were around when we did it, but when we did that Socratic stuff, we did it all live. So like I was asking these questions, and then we were just like answering them, and then people were coming up with all these cool ideas. So for people that are wondering about that, let me pull this up again real quick and we'll put this over here. And take Crease, hopefully this is useful to you. Thank you for the Prime. Let me show you guys over here. If you haven't ever seen the Socratic stuff, I think it's in presentations here. Yeah, it's in presentations. And you go up a little bit, and I've got you're just in presentations. And here's the Socratic Method Linux. And this is, we made a bunch of notes. So you could download this notes page if you wanted to. And basically what we did was we just went through and asked ourselves questions. You don't need the presentation unless you want it. But then we said, can you list, and the question was back and forth, like, can you list the number of CPUs that are in a system? Can you tell me their speed in megahertz? And we just asked ourselves a bunch of questions as we sat here and talked. And we came up with like hundreds and hundreds, I think it's like 160 questions about, can you determine the maximum transmission unit of the network with a ping? Can you do that? T-Crease said, been missing the last few weeks of class because life's happening. Really want to try and grind it out and catch up. Well, good. Yeah, you're welcome to. You can always work on the stuff. We'll figure out some kind of way. For people that don't cross the finish line right at the end of December, we'll figure out some kind of way to make it fair where people can still finish, and maybe we'll have some kind of other award for the people who maybe finish it later or work through it all later and prove that they did it. Maybe we'll have some kind of other version. I've also thought about running it every few months. So like this, obviously this is free, so we're not charging anybody for it. But maybe then we'll get ready to do like a summer version of it. And I've also thought of, and this would take like some real commitment. So I would only do this for people who were like really serious about doing it. We would probably like do like a 2 or 3 day intensive of it, like over a weekend. And then it would probably be like just 12 hours of us sitting there and doing it. And I would only probably do that for people who, like, there would probably be a special group for that. Like people that had like showed that they were really interested. But I would definitely do that. I think it would be a lot of work for me to really blast through all of that. But I could do that and maybe get some of the people that have done it once or twice to come in as my graders and help me kind of grade everything. And I think that would be good. Because, once you guys learn this stuff and do it, you can turn around and help other people do it, right? That's one of the big things about the ProLug group is I want to get you guys helping each other. I can only be in one place at a time, right? But if I get like 10 of you, like the people that are always down here studying, there's always these study groups running. Those are the people to go ask or go watch and then start to dig in. So, again, like my goal with this is to make you guys pros. And, I can only do so much at a time. I can only help so many people. But with the persistence of the group and some of the other engineers, I think we can get a lot of you guys really on track for doing this. But, yeah, I'm glad you're back, though. I appreciate the Prime. You guys are always welcome to hang out. All that kind of stuff. So, Socratic stuff, though. In general, if you just can ask yourself questions and figure stuff out, that method is what I do when I troubleshoot a lot. I do the Socratic method. I ask what sometimes people call it asking why 5 times. It's an engineering trick of, well, why did that happen? Well, why did that happen? Why did that happen? And it's a form of deductive reasoning. We call that deductive reasoning, right? So anyway, something to think about. All right. I'm not working too hard, guys. I'm just kind of hanging out here, and I might even take a little walk again and go look for snacks downstairs. But we're just kind of talking through things. I've got my notes up here. We were talking about the 16-week course. We've talked about it a couple times now. I'm going to put down here, it does not matter how slow or fast you work through it. Just keep going. I don't care how slow or fast you work through the course, just keep doing it. If you came to me next year and said, you know what, I finally got it done, I would still prefer that over somebody who just said, it was too hard. Yeah, I realize 8 hours a week is hard. I'm making the thing. I know how hard some of this stuff is. I did, you know, I spent the time to make a lot of it, so, well, all of it. But, you know, I want you guys to understand the stuff. So, all right. Anyway, so yeah, if anybody's got questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, we're just kind of jamming out a little bit. This work session came up on time, working on finding a way to get Sentinel Defender dashboards on a single dashboard. Nice working alongside others. Yeah, T-Crease, I might, one of these days, I might do one of those things where we have like one of those, I know some of the guys have like session boards where you can add what tasks you're doing. And then I've also seen those go very wrong. Like I saw Fisherman posted one time, somebody was just posting all kinds of bullshit and it was showing up on the board and they didn't have a way to purge it. And I thought that was kind of funny, but maybe I'll do one of those one of these days. But it is kind of, yeah, we're just hanging out. And then Sentinel Defender, that's Azure, right? Or Sentinel AWS, I forget. I think that sounds like an AWS service. I get those two mixed up because I haven't messed with them in a while. Yeah, Azure Sentinel. Okay. Yeah, we'll meet live on this Saturday, and then we'll hang out. And I'll probably stay a little later this Saturday too, because people want to work on. I know some people have been worried about their projects, right? There's a lot to that project. And I know people are kind of worried about that. Sex One, you said I'm trying to configure Grafana right now. It's actually amazing. Lots of plugins, data source I'm doing right now. Thanks. Yes, Lex One, can I show you one of the coolest things about Grafana if you've never seen it? Dashboards.grafana. It might not be dashboards.grafana. Let's just say dashboards at Grafana. They have, if you've never been here, so Grafana is all about dashboards, but if you go to their actual page, let's see, they've got a page that just, oh look, these are some nice ones, but you can actually go to where's it at? Hold on. Dashboards right here, and I'll show you something fun if you haven't seen this before. Where's this at? Am I just on, build dashboards, public dashboards. Here we go. Nope. Not that. Where the hell is this? I don't know where they have it now. Hold on. Here's their dashboard list, I think. Hold on. Nope. Damn it. I thought it was dashboards.grafana. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, well, it also would help if I spelled it right. Where the hell is this? Yeah, maybe it's here. But you can filter. Yeah, so This is either changed because my window's too small or it's changed for some other reason. But where I'm going with this is you can go to filter here. This is really what you want. And let's say your data source, you're using, I don't know, I don't know if you had said what you were doing, but let's say you were using Loki. Then all the dashboards would be filtered down to Loki dashboards. And then we could maybe come over here and go, this looks like a summary of alerts, and we can query alerts out of here. And then we're looking at all the errors or warning messages or error warning messages by Loki or Promtail, and then we can get all this information out of the system. And then we can pull this down, and then we can modify it the way we want. And also, this one hasn't been updated in 3 years, but it looks like it's still got some good stuff on it. Yeah. Well, Lezerbisca, we can definitely plan something like that maybe, where we have something. It would be after the new year. It would be after we finish the normal course. But that's definitely something that we could think about doing. Get a bunch of engineers together. Is it getting ready to rain again here? Oh, I thought it was about to storm in Phoenix again. I thought I heard something outside, but it looks like it's kind of sunny from downstairs. And you might say, well, upstairs, can't you see the sun? Well, no, I got some pretty dark curtains, so I can't see it without looking out there. Yeah, Slex One, you can find. I was just talking to one of my old engineering colleagues today, and we were going over like some Grafana stuff, and he was asking me some questions I didn't know the answer to, but I was like, well, I know how I'd go steal it. I'd go look at some Grafana thing that somebody had done, and I would get. By the way, you can export any dashboard out of Grafana in JSON. So if you want to know exactly how somebody did something, you can do it. Oh yeah. Oh man. You can, and you do it by data source, right? So like when we were just talking earlier, this is what's cool about it is like, let's say I pull this thing back up real quick. Hold on. I'll pull my VS Code back up real quick. And you're like, well, hey, Scott convinced me to go look at this storage, and he convinced me to run Loki, but I don't really know much about Loki, but I got the Promtail agent sending data over to Loki. I know that's working. But I don't know how to get Grafana to work. Literally all I've done with Grafana and Loki the whole time that I've run this is I just used somebody else's dashboard that looked pretty good for what I wanted. I have not dug into much of like how the logQL language works, but I know I could do some really cool stuff in there. I just haven't really done much with it because I had a good enough dashboard that mostly solved my use case, right? So again, just showing you guys that there's a lot of ways to do this stuff and make this better. That's over here. This is all my logging. So these are all in the last 6 hours. These are all the failed login attempts to my system right here, right? Along with the password or the IP addresses that people do. Somebody's really hammering my system. Hold on, look at this. They're all coming from the same 103.169.34.39. There's a bunch of them trying to get in, but they will eventually get themselves banned out forever right here. As I see that we're slowly getting more and more here of the jailed users, so they are jailing themselves out after so many attempts. So users are getting themselves. Yeah, I do use fail to ban, Deaden. Yep. Fail to ban's great, and then fail to ban has a feed you can plug in and feed out of Telegraph with it. So that's why I use Telegraph in the environment. It's really easy. I could probably feed it out to Prometheus in some way, but I'd probably have to make an exporter for it. Or find one, right? Yeah, fail to ban's great. I also have some configurations within my SSH D file, so my SSHD file that really makes it a little just more hardened. I use the STIG standards on it, and it makes it more complete as if you're going to expose something to the world, because I expose port 22. Any of you that have ever logged in and gotten into any of our systems, you can get into my systems on port 22. I have to leave that open to play the game, but it is hardened down in a way that you can lock yourself out forever. You can not use certain types of passwords, and you cannot do certain types of things. Or you get dropped into jail and then you get sent off to some bullshit environment, right? And there's just all kinds of things that we have in the lab to kind of protect it a little bit. And at the end of the day, we can just kill it if we need to, and that drops everything. Yeah, that's actually something Flex one that I was wondering too. The dead end like jobs are. It sounds like they're not going well over in London. Is that or over in UK? I don't know that you're exactly in London, but used to use Graylog for logging, but this tool game. That hey that prox if you set up Promtail to Loki, if you try that lab and it works well for you, man, I honestly think you might really like that. Yeah. Yeah, Dad, and you're near London. Are you finding a lot of stuff just says you have to go in the office, or is there still remote work? You just aren't seeing a lot of it. By the way, guys, some of my most popular stuff on YouTube has been when I go and sift through just job stuff. It seems like people like when I just pull up a Linux terminal and pull up job stuff and just go through like, hey, they want to know about how I would troubleshoot a network connection, and then I just walk people through that, which, by the way, directly coincides with like our Linux Socratic method. So I'd definitely show you guys that if you needed that, or if that's interesting. So, all right. Yeah, and I try to show you guys from a perspective of somebody who's, I don't know how to get to the interviews as well. Like I've I'm always looking at jobs because I'm a college professor and I want my students to know what's out there. But I also have given probably now about 350 professional technical interviews. So I am constantly being told, hey, come help like interview this guy or interview this guy. We want to make sure that they really know their stuff. And that's what people bring me in for, is to be objective about how good somebody actually is in doing this stuff. So Flex One, you've been working from home for a year. I'm just on 4 years now, going on 5 years of working from home. So, which started with being laid off, by the way. I think I told you guys, you don't have to feel bad. If you're good at what you do, you can still get let go. I was very good at what I did. You can even ask some of the guys in our Discord, our engineers and architects from the company I was working at. And I got let go at the beginning of COVID because, well, I mean, the company that I was working for was Best Western, which is they do hotels, and nobody was traveling, so they let all like 600 and something of their contractors go in one shot. Didn't matter if my company, the team I worked on really liked me as the Ansible architect. They really liked what I was doing, but they couldn't they just didn't keep me around. So, you know. And then I came and I worked for my company Redline, and really had a blast with Redline. So it's pretty good. Yeah, there you go. You might find a little bit of networking here. T. Hopkins said that his guys are always looking, or his place is always looking, so that's always good. Maybe do some networking, and then maybe you guys, maybe you're not in exactly the same place because one of you's in UK and the other one may be in the UK or somewhere else, but hopefully you guys get some experience. Oh, hold on, guys. The wife's calling me. Give me a second. Hey, wifey, I'm streaming, but I can talk to you, and everybody will just hear my side of the conversation. What's up? That was always allowed. That's a great meme. Oh, no. Did you tell her that we still got in with no reservation? Julie, I found out later. Look, I found out later that the reservations for that place are like 6 to 8 weeks out. If we had gotten there 30 minutes later, we would have not gotten in. No, he told me it was that bad. He told me don't go there during dinner. Remember, he said go at lunch because it's not as bad. So, all right, love you. Bye. All right, sorry guys. The wife was calling me. She had lunch with one of her old bosses and current friends, and they were supposed to go to Maui, but they didn't get to go. And we ended up going to Maui, but it was for my work because some of you guys know I was in Maui, and then they were supposed to go to that Mama's Fish House, which is like super nice, and it's like seriously over 2 months wait. And we walked in there on a Friday at 4 and got seated right away. They were like, "Oh yeah, no, if you had been even just a little later, there's no way you'd have gotten in." So it's kind of cool. Anyways, yeah. So that was the wife calling me. Yeah, yeah. There you go, Dead. And look, boom. You got T Hopkins. You guys can message each other. That's always good. Hopefully, you guys find something. Hopefully, there's something that works there. Um, there you go. Boom. Yeah, yeah. You guys find each other on Discord. Bedless Blade. Oh man, that place. I'll tell you what. I posted up in the Discord. I've never spent that kind of money on food in all my life. Like, I mean, I grew up pretty. My family was pretty low income, and then there were 5 boys, so my parents were just trying to feed us. And my man, like I mean, like it's different because I've been an engineer for 20 years now, so like I'm in a different spot than I was when I was a kid. But I tell everybody, like, I don't know when you're ever going to get out of that, like, not wanting to spend that kind of money on food. But like it was seriously a lot of money that we spent there. But it was good food, and the wife enjoyed it, and the wife liked the atmosphere. Her favorite thing is, by the way, neither me nor my wife drink. That's kind of a funny thing. Although I did drink that night, just because that was also funny. I probably drink less than 2 times a year if I had to guess. But like if I'm hanging out with my buddies and they hand me a beer or something, I don't like throw it on the ground and go, I don't do that. But no, I'll drink if like there's a special occasion or something. Like I'll drink champagne at somebody's wedding or something. But anyways, the wife, she doesn't drink, never has, and I used to when I was younger. In fact, when I first got out of the Army, I was a bouncer, which was funny because I had a master's degree. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. My wife was super amused sitting there. They sat us at the bar right by the bartender, and she got to watch that woman make drinks all night. And she's like, that really looks like it's fun. All she's doing is just like because if you guys know how a lot of those places work, 1 or 2 good bartenders will make drinks for everybody, and then the different waiters and waitresses will just come and get that all from one central location. So this one was literally just sitting there spinning and making drinks the whole night, just spinning bottles and doing all this fun stuff. My wife was like, that's so much fun. I'm like, I know that's fun because I can guarantee you making recipes like that is fun because there's whole game genres of people that just stand around and make burgers at burger joints and do all kinds of things. But it's all about like knowing all the recipes and having all the fun things. People love that stuff. So yeah, the food was crazy expensive. We were told to expect about $100 a plate, and because I drank a little bit, and I had 2 rum and cokes, and then the wife had a virgin daiquiri, no, a virgin margarita, sorry. And because she did that, and because I did that, we ended up spending. You guys want to know the total? I've told you guys the total before, but the total on food. We also got appetizers. Because I told her, like, you gotta try the appetizers if you come to a place like this. But if you do appetizers, and then you do the plates, and then you do a few drinks each, well, 2 drinks for me and 1 for her, the total was $288. And then I try to be a good tipper because, like, I understand the economy right now. So the total out the door of that place was $388. So, man, and I've never, guys, I never spent anywhere near that. I don't even think I've spent half that on food ever before in my life. And I got, and we got kids and grandkids. I don't think I've ever spent that kind of food, that kind of money on food anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We got 1 grandkid. The other one, we had a grandkid pass early this year. I didn't really tell you guys on stream or nothing about that, but that happened. And then we have the 1 grandkid still. But then, like, I've never spent that kind of money on food ever. Like, that's insane. Yeah, $388 with the tip. But people were like, hey, at least you're giving good tips. And I'm like, well, I didn't want them to sit there and not, I wonder how many Walmart steaks that is. Yeah. Can I tell you something, Bedless? The best steak I've ever had in my life, still to this day, was cooked by, I almost wasn't going to eat it. I told the guy, you know what? I don't even want a steak. Because, so here's the story. It wasn't where I was that mattered, but it was normally in the U.S. Army. The cooks have to this cook even told me, because he said, do you want a steak? And I go, nah, I don't need a steak. And he goes, it's your last night here. Why don't you just take a steak? And I said, yeah, but, you guys generally don't cook very well. He goes, hold on. He goes, we have to cook to the lowest common denominator human palate. We have to make food that basically works for everybody. So we don't really spice stuff. But he goes, let me go ahead and make you a steak. I'll put some spices on it. We'll have a steak together. And I go, okay. It was my last night in Iraq in 2003, right? So I was getting out of Iraq, and this guy was like, "Yeah, we got some steaks. I'll make you a steak." And I said, "Yeah, you know what? Cooks, you guys are pretty terrible." And he insisted, so I had this steak, and it's to this day still the best steak I've ever had. And I didn't pay nothing for it. Didn't pay nothing. And I'm not just saying it was the best steak because I was in Iraq. I'm talking, it was the best steak period I've ever had, and not even close. And I've been to some decent steakhouses in my life, but mostly other people paying, like in work trips and functions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've never spent anywhere near that kind of money, but that was still to this day the best steak I've ever had. So, yeah. Guys, I got to go in another meeting here in a few minutes, but I will. Oh, we got a few more minutes of hanging out, but yeah. How many Walmart steaks that it would be a lot. Yeah. There's also we've been given, me and the wife were given one time. We have a friend that's pretty wealthy, and she likes to give really nice gifts, and she one time gave us this like set of I think it was like Omaha steaks or something, and the wife looked it up online later, and that was expensive as crap. But normally I just eat like burgers from Winco or something, like, and I just cook the burgers myself. In fact, now that I think about it, I have some downstairs that I have to probably cook for tonight, but yeah, bedless. Don't know if I ever spent more than like 20 on a meal. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's getting harder to not do that nowadays, but also, I'm used to the wife and the kid, or the kids, depending on when the other one's around, because the one kid is in Utah with his wife and his kid, so the grandkid. But when they're down in town, because they'll be down in town at the end of the month, and we'll all be hanging out together and stuff, so it's good. Went to Ruth Chris. Next time we go to Iraq, yeah. There's a Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Phoenix. I've never been there, but I had a friend go there once, and in the early 2000s, he spent about $107 a plate, and I was like, oh, geez, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot now, but that was even more in relation to what $107 was worth back then. So, can I tell you something funny about that live coding? Me and my wife sit around and bust the table while we're sitting there. So, like, she has a thing, and I kind of do it as well, where basically we never even really talked about it. We just both do it, where we clean up the table to where when the person comes, there's only the one thing for them to grab. So, oh, Cybershell Tech. No, you can, all I have behind there. So let me show you real quick. It's hard to see, but I'll click on it, and then I'll turn it down so it's off. And then right here, it's too low for you to see. I'll click on it, and it'll come back up. I just have a PowerPoint behind, and you just take the PowerPoint, and there's a little button for closed captioning. And as long as it's in presentation mode, it will do this for you. So this is literally just PowerPoint right here doing it. It won't let me swear. Listen to this, guys. Listen, this is fun. I can say God, and I can say damn. But I can't say those two words together. It won't take it. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I try to let you guys know, right? The info here is all free. That is literally just PowerPoint sitting behind all of this. I get PowerPoint. So I don't think I've ever paid for Microsoft Office in my life. I get it through my college. So yeah, that's all it is. Through my college, I have full PowerPoint and like Office and stuff on my system, and then I just run it. But can I tell you guys some really cool, I saw a really cool technology yesterday. Somebody was playing it in Twitch, and it just happened to be on the front page when I opened it up. And I went and looked, and he was talking in English, and it was translating to, he had it in Spanish the whole time, and then off to the side, he also had it in Russian, and then he changed it to Chinese, and he had it in German. And the people that were in chat were like, we can understand that in Russian and German and some of the other stuff. Yeah, when do we get this on LibreOffice? Yeah, whenever Apache ends up putting it through. But, oh, yeah, it was Quackity. Yeah, that's exactly who it was. It was a guy, Quackity. I was like, dude, I would definitely pay for that, because sometimes when we're doing stuff, I'm pretty sure we have a fair amount of people from Germany that watch the stream. I know that from YouTube. And we have a fair number of people from India. And if I could translate that in real time to like what I'm doing, and just having, even if it's only like 80% as good down at the bottom, that's still pretty good. Yeah, live coding. I'm not a monster. I do clean up at McDonald's. Yeah. Me and the wife, we leave a table pretty clean. I try not to spill stuff because I hate spilling stuff in general. But like, yeah, me and the wife, we kind of clean the table as we go as well. Yeah, but that it was a person named Quackity who had it was wild because I had never heard of this person, but they were on the front page. They had like 6,000 people watching them. They had 6 million followers, and I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking popular. But yeah, he was translating in real time, and I was like, I could see how you could do that with some AWS tools, but the fact that he could just jump between some of the languages, I thought that was really cool. This right here at the bottom is just English, but I was looking in there to see if I could translate. Could I do a stream where I work mostly and translate down on the bottom to for like the Indians that want to watch it? And I think there's some functionality inside of YouTube that may help people with that, but I wanted to know if I could do that natively. Take Crease. I don't know. Oh yeah, you can send a link. I don't know if it'll come through. Hold on. Oh yeah, no. If you're, hold on. Let me see. I might have to click on your name to give you permission to send. Let me see. Hold on. Let me. I think I can give you permission. How do I do that? Timeout. I don't want a timeout. I don't want a mod. If I made you a VIP, I think it would let you. Hold on, I'm looking for a way to give you that capability. TK, are you in our Discord? If you send it in Discord, I can pull it up. That's how we normally do it. People just drop stuff in Discord and let me know, and then I'll just pull it up. So, oh, just general. Typically, general will work. If you drop it in general, let me pop Discord back up for you guys. And then I'll open up the link. So if any of you guys are in Discord, oh, was he running it live? I saw him when he was testing it yesterday. Oh, hold on. I gotta pull this up real quick. Hold on, let me get this out of the way. That probably explains too for me why. I gotta move some stuff so you guys can see this. Let me pull this other thing back up. Hold on, a little bit of time. Let's go look at this. Oh, that's super cool. Can you guys see that? Oh, hold on. I got to turn this off. That's really cool. So it's like a Babel. If you guys ever heard of Babelfish, it was the project to like take all languages back to one. So people can talk, and then it's showing it in their language. That's really cool. Yeah. Everybody's talking in their language, and you can't understand them, but you can read what they're talking about. That's awesome. Yeah, I watched him. I watched Quackity. He was actually testing it on Twitch. So I don't know if it was before or after he had been doing this, but it was really cool to watch. That is cool. Yeah. That's a really cool little thing that I was like, man, if I could get something like that. I mean, I could probably, man, there's probably some basic like stuff you could do with AWS services to build that, but I think that his implementation of it was really well done. I wonder if they use a cloud service as a backend. By the way, this one that I'm using, which Microsoft is, I know it's backended to Azure. And you might say, how do you know that that's backended to Azure? Because if my network goes down or I have network problems, this stops working. Isn't that wild? That means that they're listening, but, well, I mean, at this point, we're putting it up on Twitch, so what does it really matter, right? My buddy's a physics prof, and he takes foreign classes, too. That kind of tool would be good for discussion. Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. That would be better. That would be a really awesome way to do a lot of that. Oh, guys, I got to go on a meeting for a little bit. I will be back. I will be back. In fact, I have to turn that off for a second, but I'll be back on audio here shortly. Yeti microphone that. You guys should be able to hear me again. But let me also make sure that my... Let's see, you guys should be able to hear me, good. And I'll turn my background back into... Now you guys should be able to see me talking. Okay, good, good. Yep, okay, good. All right, I'm back, guys. And mostly my day is, well, not completely done. But I'm mostly back. And what I'm going to do is play a little bit of what do I do in between meetings and stuff. Can't work too hard. I'm going to throw up some Brotato. Throw up some Brotato stuff so you guys can hang out with me. Feel free again to keep asking me about stuff or talking shop or whatever, but I'm going to throw some Brotato up here for a little bit. And let's see if I can get it. I'm going to see if I can make it small enough that I can still play it, but you guys can not like we'll still be able to do some serious stuff while we're at it. So let me get a scene, source, screen capture, add in Brotato, add that as a source. Let's see if we can capture him. There he is, done. And then we're going to make him a little bit smaller source here, put him over here out of the way. Let's see, right there. That's big enough for you guys to still see, I think, but not so big that that it's in the way of everything. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So if you guys, yeah, feel free to ask me questions or do whatever. I'm gonna sit around here and play a little Brotato. I'm gonna try to beat. Man, it's been hard. I've only beaten it with the Doctor so far, so I haven't been able to beat it with all the characters yet on the hard mode. But for fun, we'll play it with the Doctor, who's the one that I have been able to beat it with, and let's see if we can beat it again. So, oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to move some of these things down because apparently that's not going to be super easy to see. All right, it's better. Yeah, my video card can run that better apparently. I don't have like a weak video card either. I mean, I got a Dell gaming laptop, which is pretty much just a lower end Alienware, but. All right, we're gonna see if we can't beat Brotato on the harder mode, and we're still doing some Linux. So if you guys have Linux questions, feel free to let me know. This guy, we take the slowdowns if we can. We take more damage if we can. All right, that's good. All right, run around killing everybody with our low Brotatos. This is the Doctor, so he uses medical equipment. And the medical gun is not a very good gun unless you're using the Doctor, so here we go. Because it doesn't scale very well, but it works pretty well for the Doctor because he gets 200% speed increase shooting it, so it ends up being pretty good for him. Alright, range damage, more. Hold on to these. Also, he only gets half the increase or decrease of armor. So he's pretty good to do things that take away armor because he doesn't lose nearly as much armor. So things that have a detriment in armor are not nearly as much of a detriment to him. But things that are positive armor are also not very good to take on him for that matter. So. Alright. Run around killing stuff with the gummy. If you guys have any questions about Linux or the environment or anything we're working on, let me know. This is just something I do sometimes between meetings, hit a couple games up while we're doing other stuff. We like luck on this guy, so we'll take luck. We'll take attack speed. We'll get another one of those and even more attack speed. And then we'll get more regen and we'll get yet another attack speed. And we'll hold attack speed and a gun for the next round. Alright. And we're never working too hard. We're always just kind of focusing on what we're doing. I'm going to churn up my little... I've got a set of... I have like an operational guide that I built the last few weeks for work for a team training that I did out in Hawaii. But now I've got to tune it because it seems like the boss wants to train some people on the type of clusters that we run internally. So I'm going to probably build some of it up again. Have I used K9? I have not used K9s. That's like the second time though in a week I've heard about it. I hear it's really good. I haven't played with it though, so let's put it in the rotation over here. Oh well, I have that stuff in behind. I'll put it up in the notes. So hold on, let me pull up the notes and say, check out K9s for whatever, for GUI based management of Kubernetes. Right? Yeah, let me do that a little bit, because I've been kind of taking notes as we go today, and just I'm gonna drop the notes of the things that I do when I'm co-working in Discord, because I think that people will, even if they miss it, they can go check out some of the other things that we were doing, or check out some of the notes. We'll take the crit, because crit's good on this guy. We'll take extra range, take another medical gun and more speed. We'll take XP gain. XP gain is good, and we'll skip that insanity. But we do want to lock in the coupon for less price, less cost, and the whistle because it gives more loot aliens, but then they speed up. So we'll do that. That's fine. And we're gonna go around and kill more aliens. Although I think the game is actually we're the alien on their planet, but I don't know. I haven't paid a great attention to the lore of the game. All right. Boom. Go kill that. When you kill those little eyeball guys that stay around the outside of the map, these guys, you get an additional curse. And you want curse because you get more curse items, and also the more curse items, the better. Curse items are slightly better, but then they increase your curse more. So they're kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you want to think of it like that. They give you better items, but they also make more strong, hard enemies pop up. So more dangerous enemies. We're going to take range damage. We'll take the items we grabbed from earlier. We'll take more XP, because we always want more XP. Make another medical gun, and good. Now we're going to start combining our guns together and getting more, because you can only hold 6 guns in Brotato world. So, but yeah, if you guys have questions about stuff, makes terminating pods easy. That's good if you have good deployments set up. Get rid of pods. Oh yeah, so you were getting rid of pods so you could upgrade your different nodes. That makes sense. Yeah, that would be a nice reason for it, huh? Just see that everything's been rolled through, because as long as all the pods are new on it, it's definitely been down. Probably have versioning in there so you can see all the versions of stuff, I imagine. So that's important. All right. Sounds interesting. I've heard good things about K9s, but I haven't played with it. Oh, don't die. Number 1 rule, don't die. Even when I'm talking to you guys and not paying as much attention. Don't die in Brotato. More range damage. Reroll. More crit. These little bone dice, every time you roll up here, you can have a chance to get 1% more damage. So there's 50% chance, but then there's a 10% chance that you lose your HP. So it's kind of a gamble, but it's still fun. So we'll see how we do. We'll take more range damage. And we got 1 strength, so that's good. We will take more enemies, and we'll save the HP regen. And we got another strength, so that's good. Or more plus damage is what it really is, but we'll do that. Again, let me know if you guys have questions. I'm just kind of blowing off steam before I start my next. I gotta go check my Kanban board and see what else I got to do today. See what other types of engineering fun we have, Night Strike BG. Out of curiosity, ever make a partition that you encrypted with, say, Lux, and then tried to crack it with a reverse direction, knowing the password and all? Obvious and easy password. Night Strike, I've never tried to do that, no. But I know there's tools out there that can help you do that. Most of them exist in some form or fashion on Kali. But there's also another tool called, is it Bento? Hold on, I gotta look up. I can't remember its name. Give me a second here real quick. I'll look it up for you and tell you. It's in my Prologue presentations. I just got to go find it. It's in my... Hold on. Because I forget the name right off. It is Bento. Yeah, it is Bento Linux. So, hold on. So, I would say over here, encryption. I haven't done that, no, but Kali and Bento have tools that might more manageable, right? So yeah, I haven't done that myself, but I think you guys can see that, right? Yeah, right there. Kali and Bento have tools on them that might do that for you. King Subaki, yes, networking is very important for any really Linux or Windows admins because everything you do is going to interact with a network. I think the minimum you need to understand is how to set your IP addresses, how to properly troubleshoot that your device is connected and seeing its next hop, and then making sure that some of the other stuff is there. But yeah, so anyways, so that was King Subaki over on YouTube was asking about, is networking really required? Networking required for Linux admins? Yes. And the reason again is configure network, troubleshoot network. So those are like two big things I would say. Like make sure you can configure network, make sure you can troubleshoot network, make sure you can speed test and capture network traffic. Those are all skills that are good to have. I'd say the last one is more of like as you get better and have been doing it longer, you'll learn your different speed test tools like iPerf3 and stuff. Like I said, hey Robodom, how's it going, man? We are not working too hard. I am just kind of playing some Brotato in the bottom right, and you guys are hanging out. And I could technically put the Brotato behind my little picture, but I think it's fine for now. Yeah, you know what? Just for professionalism, we'll move Brotato behind the not working too hard. How's that? Yeah, there we go. Although I don't want to mess up too much of you guys being able to see Brotato, so maybe I'll move it over like that. There we go. Then you guys can at least see it a little bit. Boom. Gonna be looking for a bit. Yeah, Robodom, you're welcome. We're just hanging out. It's all lurking for us, really. Get more scars because they give us more experience, and now we're gonna start taking range damage. We want the range damage. We want to start building up better guns, and we'll take more enemies and more damage. That's important. And then we'll take even better guns. So we combined a gun manually, and then we bought a new one. And we always want this for more damage against bosses and elites. We want those heavily. So we're good. Yeah, King Subaki, I was thinking about this. I really need to just do just an intensive for you guys on. We're doing the big long 16-week Linux Systems Administration course, but I do kind of just want to do like an intensive that's maybe like just a 4-hour everything about Linux Systems Administration, but on the technical side of it, because a lot of the Linux Systems Administration stuff I've been showing you assumes that you're studying the technical stuff on the side as well. So you know it's even more. I tell you guys all the time, there's even more stuff to do. We want all these things, so we're gonna hold everything. All right, let's go beat up more monsters, more aliens. Pretty good. We got pretty good damage, so we don't have to hide. Sometimes we got to run away from things, but I think we have enough damage that we don't really have to run from anything, so that's pretty good. Also, this guy's the highest healing, so he's pretty solid. Pretty solid little character, the doctor here. I've already beaten it on this mode with the doctor, but I figured I'd play it again because it would be a little more fun and interesting, since he's one that I can win with if I get the right build specs. So a lot of this game, like most roguelites, if you don't get good items, then it's very hard to win, even if you know what you're doing. So sometimes you just don't get the build you want. So that's always important to kind of think about too. So just installed Loki besides Grafana. I was reading some docs online to see how people configuring this on there. A nice Lex one. I have a whole thing on setting up that. I mean, I know I showed you the labs earlier, but I have a like a little course that we did, like an intensive once. We're gonna take this one because it's the most. It's 4, but it's also 60 range. So we're gonna take all the range, and then we'll take even more range and get everything, and then we can roll and get another strength. So that's good, or more damage. And we want to lock in all of these. So more range and range damage, more damage, and then more crit, which can heal, but really we care about the crit for additional damage. All right, let's go kill more monsters. These big guys, they drop eggs, and then the eggs become problems, so it's better to just to kill them off when you see them. We're doing really good damage right now, so we're not going to get overrun as easily. I just have to keep an eye out for those big ones to pop up, because they're not too problematic as long as you get them pretty early. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Doing pretty good. Pretty good. Take those guys out. Our life heals really fast, so all we got to do is stay alive for a second. I thought I was going to kill that guy when I ran into him. I shouldn't have run into him like that, but oh, it's okay. We're not playing too hard. We're not working too hard. I want this guy because he drops loot every time, so get him. Subaki, studying for Network Plus cert, but it's mind-numbing, and I ended up taking a break and forgetting most of it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Alright, I'm going to take the crit. Like, the armor looks really good, but the problem with the armor is I only get 1.5 of it, so it's not great. We'll take crit, and then melee's no good for this guy, so we'll take more crit. Then we'll take crit and a better gun and the range. Oh, and then we lost the hit points, so that's no good. Got more strength, that's good. And we will take this for more range damage and more attack speed. And then we'll go on to the next level. Yeah, those Prolug labs, they're always free. Everything over on Killer Code is free. I don't run Killer Coda, but I know the guy who does, and he's doing. I think he's doing some of the best work on the internet, teaching you guys how to do all kinds of system stuff in Killer Coda. I think that's one of the best sites on the web that's free. So that's there for you guys to use. A lot of damage. I need to watch how I'm playing. Those little leeches are some of the worst characters around, man. They can really mess you up. They got the most hit points, and they charge you, so you gotta take them out. Everything else is not too hard to clean up. It's just those leeches that are really bad. So, all right. We want no. Speed's good. We'll take more damage. Better medical gun. Gotta combine them manually. This is almost always good, but again, we don't get as much armor, so we're not going to take it. Take another medical gun and take yet another medical gun. And then we've got an elite coming, so you never take celery tea before an elite because it gives them double health. You don't want to do that. We'll take more crit and dodge before him. Then we get a little more strength, and we'll buy another bone dice so that we can even gamble harder. Gamble even harder. Alright, let's see if we can beat this guy. This guy's one of the... I wouldn't call him the easier ones, but he's one of the more straightforward ones. I think we can beat him. And just got a few more seconds. Dead. Alright, we win. Alright, so we're doing good damage in general, but really good damage to bosses, so... That's pretty good. That's always fun. But yeah, Robodom's over there telling you guys about the Discord and the... places you can go and learn Linux better, right? Because that's the goal. Get better at Linux, make money, collect loots. Have your company fly you out to Hawaii. That was never a life goal, but now that's happened for me. The company did send me out to Hawaii, so that was nice. I didn't really have any goals or ideals to ever go to Hawaii, but since that came up, I was like, okay, I'll go. If you're gonna twist my arm, you know, I mean. I guess I'll do it. How's it going, Di? Hopefully this stuff's useful. Ah, so we use all the same guns, so this is awesome. 30 damage and then 3 attack speed for every different type of gun, but we only have one, so we have that. And then fried rice gives you more regeneration for every burning enemy, but we don't have burning. But I guess we could start building it if we find it. Lifesteal doesn't really help us much, so we'll stick with range damage. And now we're going to take the celery tea and the bone dice. And more strength, good. We'll take the speed, and we'll take more strength. And we'll get a medical gun and another medical gun, and we'll take the spyglass and that, and we'll roll for free to get another strength, and we'll get that. All right. We we do want more HP regen on this guy, so we'll go ahead and take the little baby squid. That's fine. All right. So on this level, all the enemies are going to have twice the hit points. Oh yeah, you can ask me any questions you want. Feel free. Ask me anything you want. I'll give you the best answer I can. Hopefully it's a good answer. But yeah, all these enemies have twice the hit points now, so it's a little more dangerous of a level. But then in all future levels, I'll get more and more XP, so I'll be leveling faster. Which is important, you know, be able to keep getting more experience so you can keep leveling up. And then I will hopefully try to give you a good answer for whatever you're asking over there in a second. Alright, die guys, so I can collect all your buddies' loots. I didn't really have any way to dodge that. I had to keep moving because the enemies were collapsing down on me, so it kind of looked like I ran and caught that, but I really had nowhere to go. Let's see, hold on. I'm gonna grab a few more items and then I'll answer that question, I hope. No melee, none of that stuff, all garbage. We are gonna want that, but not just yet. And then I don't really want the goblets. I don't want any of this, although I thought I had something. Oh yeah, I had something that made burning the enemies good, but I don't have any elemental yet, so we'll hold back. We'll get this one and then we'll start working on getting some burning stuff. Okay. So there was a question. Hold on. The question was, so I'm going to start putting question. And the question was, what basic service can I offer as a sysadmin online? So I don't know if I understand the question completely. But I think what you're saying is like what kind of services, if you're like a Linux sysadmin, like what can you offer online to like maybe make money? Is that what you're asking? So all right. So obviously there's you know, find work. There's consulting. I wouldn't like say like running services would be like if you found some niche website that needed to be built or something. Honestly, if it were me, I would think. But for work, you know, you gotta figure out what a, you know, like what is. So the question here for me would be like, what is the value add of a sysadmin? And I would say what companies want is uptime and troubleshooting. They want you to uptime, troubleshoot, monitor, optimize their systems, right? They want you to keep, and this is understanding like the 5 nines. So this is what you would go study. If you were asking me this and you were serious about it, I would tell you go study 5 nines, like find out what 5 nines means, and it's, you know, like what does it mean to have that type of uptime in the system? Right? Troubleshooting, you know how to troubleshoot the OSI model. Basic troubleshooting theory. Monitor, check systems. Be proactive. Maybe you learn how to build monitoring. Optimize is And bottlenecks are or optimizing is figuring out bottlenecks and fixing them or reporting them up to engineers. The consulting is same as above, right? So consulting would be same as above, how to add value. And then I was going to put together, some of you guys had asked me before, some of you guys had asked me, hey Scott, would you put together like a consulting, because I don't offer consulting services. I mean, if so, I do consulting through my business, Redline, that I work for. I am contracted out and I do time with different companies and stuff. But I would tell you, like, I'm going to put one of these together for everybody, but I can hash it out here in a minute. Let me play some more rounds of Brotato, and then I'll hash that out a little bit. I got to think about it a little bit mentally, but yeah, we can. I had been meaning to put a course together for that anyways, because the guys were asking, so I can at least start that. Let's we want to find, so if we're going to use the Greek fire, we need to find these little things that are called like hot. What are they called? They're called some kind of hot pepper or something. I don't know. We'll look at it here. But now we need to collect as much money as we can, and which we do anyways every time. But we need that so that we can buy all those items that we stored from the last round, right? That's basically the whole goal of this game. Get the best items you can, get through round 20. So we'll see how far up we can get, but I do like that Greek fire. I think that would be good. We can build some elemental damage into our guy here. We hadn't been focusing on elemental because this guy doesn't naturally hit with it, but we can start to build some of that up for like additional damage. I don't have to buy those, or I don't have to grab those chests because they come to you at the end of the round. We'll take that just for fun. We'll take that for damage, and then we'll take more crit, and then we're gonna take everything on the page. So we'll just buy it all. And we're going to hold that, and we're going to hold that, and we got another boss coming up. So we got to beat a boss. Let me go look at this thing for a second. So how do we add value? We need to have... there's two. So you got to develop... contract skills. And those are fixed prices and cost plus prices. If you don't know what those are, you got to find that out. But fixed cost is when I can well define the service, I give you a set price. When I cannot well define the service, I give you a cost per hour unit of work. So that's kind of how the different types of contracts that you might deal with as a person. And then so you got to figure out how you add value, right? Nagio sends an email and we have to update each one manually. Is there an easier way to manage this? Well, selects one. I mean, there's a bunch of ways to send monitoring. If you're going to run Prometheus has an alert manager, and that can alert out to all kinds of things. So hold on. I'll come back to this other one, but question. Monitoring. Email. Monitoring. Email. I would tell you for monitoring email, Prometheus Alert Manager. Learn how to set it up, and you can send all kinds of threshold alerts, right? But we come back up here to this, and you got to develop your contract skills. You have to develop your everything is about utility when you run businesses, right? Like how to add value, utility. So you develop contract skills, you develop your presentation, sales skills, right? And then your sales skills are elevator pitch, which is your 2 minutes of value add, that kind of stuff. And then you have your initial service type offerings, right? Type explanation. And I would say that's like 30 minutes, right? And then anyways, these are the things that I would kind of do. Yeah, if you're doing, if you have knowledge, go Jishu, hopefully I'm saying that right. If you've got knowledge and you can go do these things, then I think you should do that. Oh, you don't have experience as sysadmin. Oh, that's, well, I mean, like, what I would tell you is consulting might not be the thing if you're starting. Like, maybe go find somebody to work with or work for, right? That would be kind of my recommendation, I guess. All right, I'm gonna play some more potatoes here because we're not working too hard today. All right, I got a boss. I'm gonna beat up a boss real quick. This is not one of the harder bosses. He's a little harder, but he's not the worst. So, all right, we got him. Boss down, because we do really good damage. We're up there in the top probably 95 percentile of damage right now. We're doing a lot of damage. So yeah. We're doing really high damage. What are you hitting for? Like in the 130s? Yeah. And we don't even have real elemental damage yet. When we get elemental damage going, we're gonna hit really hard. So. Because we didn't really originally build this guy for that, but it can't take hits like that, so I gotta watch out so I don't take hits like that too much. Not good to take hard damage hits from these guys. So I deal good damage, but I'm kind of a glass cannon right now, so I need to. Yeah, we'll take it, whatever. We'll do faster burning. That's good, and more trees and more health, and then more damage, and then we will take damage. Experience. So now in the next wave, enemies are going to have twice as many hit points, which is a problem. But then we're going to take fish hook. So what the fish hook does is it gives you a chance to become cursed if you leave something in here. So then things can become cursed over time. We can take the blood donation for harvesting. That's actually pretty good. And then we'll take this and this. This is normally a really good item, but we don't want the less elementals, so we'll leave it for now. And then let's go. Now remember, everything here has twice as many hit points, so a little more of a hassle to kill things. But we're not doing bad. We are taking 1 damage every second, but that doesn't really matter to this character because he heals so fast. So, or it's not as big of a deal on this character because he does heal. Alright. I gotta stop getting hit by dumb stuff, but other than that, we're doing good. Doing good. Okay, there's a guy I gotta go track down over there. Good. Oh, this guy's got a whole lot of hit points going on over there. All right, we're back to full. That's important. I can't mess around on levels where the enemies have twice as many hit points, obviously, because that'll get me killed. Jeez, they can deal a lot of damage, but that's not that big a deal. That wasn't too bad a level. We don't need the melee, but we'll take it for the knockback. We'll take more harvesting, take a better gun. That's going to make some of those annoying enemies show up at the beginning, but it won't be too bad. We'll take more harvesting, take another gun, take that. And then we'll go over here. Giant's Belt. One of the best items for if you're dealing with crits, because crits deal 10% more damage to an enemy. 10% more of their current health, so never more than 10 crits to kill something. And 1% for bosses, so never more than 100 hits on crits to kill bosses. So if you get your crit real high, this is really good. Like if you have 100% or higher crit, no boss could ever stand for more than 100 hits. That's big. It's real big damage. All right, so we'll hold on to that. Reroll that, and we'll hold on to this because it gives us a lot of luck. All right. Let's see if we can smash a level without the enemies all double powered up. Yeah, there we go. Much more reasonable fighting those guys than these other ones we've been dealing with. So, all right. All we gotta do, keep them from getting into these little machines, because when they get in those machines, they turn into a monster that's probably about 10 times stronger, so we don't want them getting in those machines. Basically, every time those little things pop up, we need to take care of them. Yep, there they are. Yeah, I want to take those things out. because they will turn into big old nightmares. That's a hassle. So I don't want to deal with that crap, so kill off the monsters. Kill off their little pods that they can go into and make themselves stronger. Okay. Kill more of those guys. Good. Oh, alright, so we want elemental, so weapons are going to scale with more elemental damage, so we want that, so we'll take it. And we'll take range, and we'll take luck, and we want our giant belt, and we want that, and we want more luck. Alright. We'll take the elemental, and we'll take that. Alright, now we got a boss coming again. Alright. He is not the hardest of the bosses, but he's not super easy either, but yeah, we're doing really. Oh, jeez. Oh, damn it. That's what I get for talking instead of playing. All right. Well, I've beaten it with him before, so I'm gonna try it with somebody else. I did almost beat it the other day with Engineer, who's one of my favorite characters. So we'll play some Engineer. But yeah, you guys are welcome to ask questions if you got them. We're not working too hard. I'm just kind of in between tasks on my co-working. Normally, when I'm co-working, I'm just kind of on another screen hanging out. But today I've been kind of answering questions and putting them up there in the top right there, so you guys can see kind of the questions I've been answering for people. We want more engineering on this guy, but we're not finding engineering, so we'll take hit points. And we'll take that. And we'll take an engineering book. None of those things are necessary. Take more landmines, because that's important. Makes our guy stronger. And we'll take more trees. And we're going to build him up with a bunch of wrenches. And you'll see basically what the engineer does is he stays near his turrets. And his turrets kill everything. So the only time I have to leave the turrets is when I want to go kill a tree. And because I gotta keep killing trees off to get more and more items. So for the most part though, I can let the enemies just kill themselves on my turrets. And then keep an eye out for trees like this. And then there we go. We'll take more engineering. And take range and more engineering. So we get more engineering with each of our weapons that we have. And we also just run around and beat up monsters. That's the whole crux of the game. Our engineering will get to where our turrets do pretty good damage on monsters, so they will be the things that do the majority of our damage later in the game. Our job is just to kind of stay near them and stay alive. Knock out trees. And turrets will shoot trees for us, but obviously they can't cover the whole map. We'll do the best we can to get them covering the whole map, but we probably won't. I will take crit, that's fine. More engineering. More. This does affect our turrets, so we do want it. Our turrets will shoot through enemies, which will be super useful. And then we do want this because it'll cause items to come to us, and we want more experience, so we take that as well. Alright. Time to run around, kill more monsters. If any of you guys are thinking of anything specific you want to know, let me know, and we will talk about it, or I'll put in the notes over here, and then the stream notes will go again up in the Discord, like I normally do. I take notes and I put them up in like our meeting notes. So hold on, Ruben, I'll read your thing here in a second. I need to go and kill these guys too, because these are the guys that give me more curse, which I need. Robodom said some people will recommend I take a course on Sophia to satisfy that requirement. Yeah, so Ben talks with a mission counselor at WGU. Got my transcript, but apparently I got to take a pre-calc class. Yeah, Robodom, that's what M-Pesa had recommended, and I would definitely go for that. If you need help with pre-cal, I do know some guys that are good at math, but the best place to go on the web, this has been true for like 15 years. The best place to go on the web is Khan Academy, Khan Academy for math. If you struggle with like the maths that you need, I don't even know about Wolfram. That's probably good too. But Khan Academy, and they're owned by Google. But the last I checked, you can just Google login for free. Last I saw it was Khan Academy was still 100% free. So Wolfram Research, I haven't heard of them. Is that good? Yeah, I don't even know about Wolfram, but they're probably good too. I can just tell you that Khan is free, and they will get you through a lot of stuff. Wolfram Research, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. I've heard that before, but it's too far back for me to know what it is. Yeah, Slex One, hopefully this stuff's good for you. Hop into the Discord. You can hang out later if you want. You know, we got engineers always hanging out doing something, so. Help your presentations, presentation pre-sale skills. What other ones were we talking about? So, you need to, there's really, the services in my mind are like this. You either do support or you do deployment. And maybe they're not in that order. Well, I guess there's different ways to look at it, but I would say deployment and then support. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go look at like what do these look like. With support, that's gonna typically be cost plus. There's typically like a retainer or minimum hours per month. I used to do like 5 hours, and then so if I had like people that were like a minimum hours with me, and then they were like retainer of 5 hours per month, but as they use the hours, it's against those 5 minimum. So what that means is like people could, when I used to run support services I ran my own consulting services for a few years, and what I would do is like you could retain me for 5 hours minimum a month, but you were paying that like I sent you a bill every month, and then if you used me for 3 hours, I basically just got to keep the extra 2, but you still got to pay it. But if you wanted to, you could say, okay, well, we're going to get our 5 hours, so I'm just going to have Scott in meetings once a week, so we burn all the hours. Well, that's fine. Contracts out and stuff. So this was like our consulting talk. And I was going to build one of these out because it sounds like some of you guys want to do consulting. So the question of like what basic services would you want? And people had asked me about like if I would do a course on like running consulting. And yeah, I could definitely do that. Services, deployment, support. Another one that you can kind of do that's part of support is monitoring. And monitoring has its own stuff, right? So monitoring is its own set of things that you would do. What's auto refreshing? What happened? Stream link from terminal end to VLC. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there, but let me go back to resume here. We're gonna take more damage. Take that. We'll want that, and then we'll take our wrenches. We need more wrenches. So that'll be good. Ow, back hurts. Ow, it's not good. All right. They can all just come over here and die around my wrenches, or die around my turrets rather. But again, we're co-working. We're not working too hard. See how my turrets are shooting through the enemies now? So that bullet did affect them, which is nice. That actually makes my turrets that much stronger, which is very important. And then, by the way, you can trigger your own landmines. They don't hurt you, but you can trigger them to like get a kill if you need to, like I just did. So that's kind of a useful skill. Armor works pretty good on this guy. We'll take more engineering, and then we'll take that. And we'll put these guys together. Take that, and I'll want medical turrets because they'll heal me, and I'll want more engineering, so that's all good. Okay. More and more turrets. Those little burning turrets, they used to be terrible when the game first built them. They were just absolutely awful because they were based on elemental damage, which you don't have as an engineer. Well, not natively. And anyways, then they changed them and modified them recently, and they do a lot of damage now, so it's pretty good. They're way better than they were, anyways. You used to just try to get away from them as fast as you could because they were so terrible, but now they actually do a pretty good dot. They do a good initial damage and then a dot damage on the enemy as well. So anyways, yeah, we'll stay over here. Oh, don't let these guys kill me. Most important thing, don't die. All right. More attack. We'll take harvesting. We'll take engineering. Big engineering damage. That's good. And then I do want melee, so that'll be good. And we'll take another. And then that's good for now. All right. Am I missing anything over here? Oh, it looks like I am missing. Something auto refresh. I don't even know what that is. Oh, there was a gifted, so I didn't even see that, guys. Thank you for that. Yeah, I apologize for that. I didn't get an alert on that or nothing. That's weird. To make sure viewers don't hit commercial. Well, I appreciate that, Run Mucker. You are our #1 supporter around here, so that's kind of good. This is fun. This is called Brotato. This little game I'm playing is called Brotato. It's a fun one. It's very challenging. I'm playing it on the hardest mode, so I'm running it through level 5, which is the hardest mode of the game. You could play it on a much more chill version. I only play it on the hardest mode. Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, the silent alert got me, but I definitely appreciate. I appreciate any of you guys that hang out, but some of you guys support us and keep people from having to watch commercials, which is nice, and also keeps me motivated. I've had a few people do. Few people have Prime or subbed or whatever, but yeah, people that gift subs, they're a special breed because they say they don't want you to have to watch ads, so you get to skip ads now for the next month or so. So that's pretty nice. Anybody that gets one of those, I use Turbo, so I don't see any of those. I'm super lazy about that. So Cyber Shell with the Prime, I appreciate that. You can use those anywhere, but if you use them here, I always appreciate that. There's some I watch some streamers like Baru, and he'll just say sometimes he'll just be hanging out with like 4K people, and he'll be like, hey, yeah, if you haven't used your Prime, go ahead and do it now, and they'll get like 100 Primes, and it's funny because most people just forget they have them, you know. For the most part, most people are just like, oh, I didn't even think I had a Prime sitting around. So we will take more damage, and then we'll take the steroids, and then we'll take more landmines because landmines are really good on this guy, and we'll take this. Look, +6 engineering, huge for this guy. And then we don't really need any of the other stuff, so we'll hold on to that. But those are 2 good items, and then we're just gonna try to stay alive. Khan Academy's still free. I'm telling you right now, Robodom. I know. I stumbled into a thread one time on Reddit years ago. This would probably be like 10+ years ago, Robodom, where somebody said something like, "Oh, hey, I used Khan Academy to get through college or something," and then like, if I had to guess, let's just say conservatively 30,000 people chirped into this thread on Reddit and were like, I used it to get through my physics in college, and holy shit, I wouldn't be a mechanical engineer if there wasn't Khan Academy. So like, I could say a lot of nice things about Khan Academy because I enjoy it and I like going there, but I'm telling you, like, the internet is and people that you probably respect as engineers really like Khan Academy too. So it has changed a lot of people's ability to do math. It's probably one of the best things maybe that I've ever heard of on the web for that. Bottleneck, I've never seen an internet connection drop for using Nmap on a Linux machine, no. Yeah, Robodom, it's free content and it's very well done and very well vetted. We're going to take bigger explosion sites because we're going to need it here in the future. And we're going to take, none of these things are great for us, but we're going to take more hit points because we need more hit points. And we're going to take more engineering because you always need more engineering, landmines, and then more XP. And we'll take less damage or less cost of things, and then we'll hold on to these for later. All right, let's keep killing bad guys. That's the goal. Keep killing monsters. This little guy is going to be annoying, but hopefully I can take him out. Especially if he wanders back towards my guys. My guys will kill him pretty easily. So, all right, so that's our goal. Just stay alive. This little medical turret, when it shoots me, it gives me hit points, but it's I was pretty much full, so I didn't need it so much. Yeah, anybody that wanders over here is going to get themselves killed. So, pretty good little setup of turrets. I could definitely have more turrets at this point, but we're not doing bad. Because you get turrets for having wrenches, but then you can also grab turrets through just the shop. But I haven't seen any, so need to wait, and then we'll get more hopefully. Yeah, Bottleneck, what system is doing the scanning, and which system are you getting to the web on? Like, are you scanning against your system that gets on the internet? Because I would tell you then that's possible that's causing some problems. Like if you're scanning against the system that's going. How can I practice the usage of SSH and Killer Coda? Gojishu, there's a few labs that I have that show you how to move stuff around, like pushing stuff with SCP, pulling stuff and using SSH. I want to say it's like lab 6 of the Linux stuff. But if not, I mean, you just go in there and just practice SSHing back and forth between your boxes if that's what you're trying to get better at. You want to understand how to connect to things better, that's a big part of it. Let's see, we don't have any layer 3 wrenches yet, so we're going to make some. These are probably my favorite ones when you get these, because when you get layer 3 or level 3 wrenches, they are lasers and they automatically go through like 3 or 4 enemies. It's really nice. We'll hold on to this for more curse damage. And let's see. The wife's messaging me. Let me see what the wife wants. Hold on. Gotta check out what the wife wants. Kali VM, tried on a second device, runs Ubuntu. Got the same result, which made me think it could be my ISP. Yeah, wait, are you scanning your own machine or somebody else's machine? Like, are you scanning internal? Are you going out to your ISP and back? I would think that could, I mean, that's probably an ISP policy then doing that to you. If I had to guess. I don't know. But that sounds like something an ISP might do. Yeah, just to make sure that you're not doing some BS. Hold on, the wife's calling me. Hello, wifey. I'm still streaming. What's up? Okay. Then you want to just, you just want me to shoot for like 4:30 then? Okay. That's what I'll do. Love you, bye. Alright, that was the wifey. She wants me to make sandwich, or make, I'm going to make hamburgers here in a little bit. So I'll get off here in a little while, but we'll finish this round out. Let's see how we do in this round, and then we'll go from there. I think that's fair. We'll see how we do, and then we'll go. And we're doing pretty good damage. One of the nice things is it's pretty easy to drag the bosses through these, so these are doing pretty okay damage. The boss will be able to take some, you know, depending on which boss we have, we'll have a good chance of doing some pretty solid damage to them. Then we'll just dodge whatever's going on and stay near our little turret that can heal us, because that's a pretty good way to get your life back charged up. But oh, that guy was going at me hard. Jeez. Stay right here. Heal my life up. Back over here. All right. Take that. None of that's necessary for this guy. We'll take harvesting, sure. Don't want any of that, but we will take, oh geez, engineering, more engineering, and then we'll take another one of those, and that, another one of those, and then we can get a cursed wrench, which is always good. So we'll get our first exploding turret, and then we'll start building up another type of turret here. So keep building those up. Hold on to this for next round, and then we'll get more turrets. And see, now we can buy turrets, which this is the first one of these that has popped up for us, but that's actually really good. Zoni, I don't really do much reverse engineering. I do a fair amount of figuring stuff out that other engineers have done, but not reverse engineering in like software space, no. Not what most people conventionally think of reverse engineering. But do I, as a person who gets called in often to fix problems that other engineers built, have to reverse engineer another engineer's solution? Yeah, I do that crap all the time. That's basically what I get paid for. But I don't do that with like software. I'm not a software engineer reverse engineering stuff. But fixing other people's problems and like making things back to running systems, I do that crap all the time. That's like part of why I get paid what I do, is because I can do that very well. But I'm not a reverse. I wouldn't call myself a reverse engineer. I'm more of a guy who keeps systems going. And I build new systems sometimes, but just depends on what we're doing. My company's doing a lot of building new systems now, so I've been doing a lot more of that and training people on them recently. But I do a lot of building the best training for them as well, so hopefully that's clear as mud. We'll take this for more harvesting, a little less enemies, but I want, oh man, I really want just more engineering, but we'll take melee for now. We want that. We want to combine that and take that and that and that. And then re-roll, and something should have gotten better, but we'll take the engineering and I don't even know what that is. Oh, is that a life steal? Oh, we don't have any life steal, so that's no good. Take that, and we'll get our piercing up. All right, we got a boss now, and we got to see if we can stay alive. Zoni, we got somebody that hops in here every now and then. Let me go find their name. And this one does reverse engineering and malware. Yeah, hold on real quick. I'm gonna butcher this name. Nope, I don't think that worked. Hold on. Let's see if that worked over on the Twitch side. Sorry, hold on. I should have done that in the Twitch side. Did that shout out work? Hold on. Yeah, I think I messed it all up, but it's because I'm in like my other one. Yeah, that's the only person I know that does that. So I apologize if that's not anybody new. That's the only person I know that does that. I mean, you might catch Rob doing it sometimes if RWX Rob's around, but he's mostly building new stuff. But no, I never got into doing that. That was never super interesting to me, like professionally, so I never really built much in it. All right, I'm gonna stay away from this boss, and I'm just gonna let my guys beat him up, and he can come to me if he wants. You know, I'm just gonna kind of stay away from him and just drag him across my turrets. See how my turrets are up there, just beating him up? I'm just gonna kind of stay away from him though. Let my little thing heal me. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Stay away from him. Let my little turret gun heal me. Oh, he's dead. Okay, good. All right. That was my plan, was just stay away from the boss. I wasn't really trying to watch what he was doing. I just want to stay away from him. All right, now we just collect loot. All right. Go kill this tree up here. All right. Just grab all this. Good. Pretty good loot. We'll take max HP and luck, sure. We'll take more turrets, always. And more engineering, huge. And we'll take more range. Take this. Combine that all the way up. And then we'll take this. So this one is 61 damage a shot as opposed to the only 33 damage a shot. So cursed weapons are huge. You really want cursed weapons if you can get them. It's huge damage. We'll take the snail. And then we'll take more. We'll take this. All right. Wave 13. Let's see if we can win this time. I'm pretty sure I actually beat the bosses on this one, but since I have the game set to go into the extended mode, I think I lost after I killed both of the final bosses. So I'm pretty sure I kind of beat it on this guy already. But if you don't set it to just finish, then you have to finish the round. And I honestly think the round killed me, and that was pretty sad. You're not supposed to get killed by the level if you kill the bosses, you know. But the level got really intense right at the end and killed me off, so that was no good. We're gonna stay away. We're not even gonna go bother with those guys. We're just gonna stay over here, and they can become those really strong guys, and then we'll kick their asses later when they come over here. So You guys can see what the strong dudes look like when they pop up, because I think they're gonna make one. Yeah, they made one. Yep. Yep. So there was one of those little strong guys. Oh, more engineering, always. We don't care about range damage, so we'll take that for healing. Crit's fine. We don't have any real good. We don't need any of that right now. We need this, and we'll take the ice cube for now, and then maybe we'll work on that later. Take the lure. Take more trees, and we will take the tonic because it's attack speed, range, crit. It's all good things. So there we go. All right. But again, we're not working too hard. I'm mostly done with my work day right now anyways. I just I'll probably keep working on a little bit of stuff here, and yeah, I'm thinking of something I'll do for work here shortly. Oh, don't die. That's the #1 rule, guys. Don't die. So I gotta go get over here and fill my life back. I'm running into too many enemies. I forget that sometimes these guys, they hit you more. So, all right. We'll take the stupid coil. Take the stupid goblet. We'll take the bait, and then we'll take more hit points. That. We don't want that stuff. Too much trouble. More wrenches. More melee and knockback, but we really want the knockback just for the spring. And then take this for killing cursed enemies, and then we'll take an ugly tooth. We got a boss coming, so let's see if we can beat the boss up. I gotta figure out, which boss is this? This one's not the worst one on the game, but we'll see if we can beat him. We're going to stay away from him like we normally do, and we're just going to try to stay where we can keep getting healed. So we can kind of stay alive. We're trying to just not get too close to him, not stay in his target range. Let our guys beat him up. We're not even trying to hit him, we're just staying away from him, guys. Trying to keep our keep our gun where it can hit us. Oh, we died. My fault. All right. Guys, I gotta probably get off of here, but let's find somebody to raid real quick over on the Twitch side. Maybe we'll find something useful. I definitely appreciate you guys coming by, and that's all right. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just lose. Let's go raid Rob. Rob's doing good stuff. You should follow him if you don't. He's always working on fun stuff on the web. He's coding, so our thing over there will be, our raid message will be like, do all the Linux. So, all right. I will see you guys later, and some of you I might talk to. I might be back on later. Just depends, but we'll talk. Take care, guys.